The zombies are coming!
Oh, yeah, you guys, the zombies are coming!
Time to nut up or shut up.
Sometimes when you check out a movie, you can just feel like everybody had a fantastic time making it, and that's exactly what I felt while I was watching Zombieland Double Tap. This is the long-awaited sequel to the original Zombieland movie that starred Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg and Emma Stone. They're all back in the sequel. Abigail Breslin was also in the original. She's a little bit older now, Abigail Breslin. She plays this teenager grappling with her family now. Everybody has grown and bonded together. Emma Stone and Jesse Eisenberg have a love story, and they're sort of in a committed relationship. Woody Harrelson is there. He's still the badass and the leader slash father figure who has great respect for Jesse Eisenberg's character, even though he drives him crazy. So they riff on some of the intricacies of the relationship that were established in the first film.
Here we go!
Plot-wise, it's not going to blow you away with its storytelling. This crazy family is living in the White House, a dystopian nightmare version of the White House. They have fun getting out there and destroying all kinds of zombies in ridiculous ways with lots of cool special effects.
You're welcome, America.
This troupe travels from the White House to Graceland. They encounter some interesting characters along the way. One of them is this woman that's trapped in a mall, actually in a pinkberry freezer, played by Zoe Deutsch. She's hilarious. She's kind of like this, reality TV parody.
Tiny, big, tiny!
She's adorable.
But she's immediately intrigued by this brainiac of Jesse Eisenberg's character, which there's some fun dynamic stuff in there.
He's so flexible.
Woody Harrelson always looks like he's having the best time of his life, and honestly, when I was watching this film, I was struck by this guy has had an incredible career. We see him pop up in movie after movie where he makes things better. Even though he hams it up and he chews the scenery, he's good. He's just a solid actor. One of the last things that I can remember of him just blowing me away in was War for the Planet of the Apes. And it doesn't matter if he's playing a menacing character or a comedic character. There's, a great sense of charm and humanity to the roles that he inhabits, and that's absolutely true in this case again.
Time to nut up or shut up. That thing's very 2009.
Emma Stone impresses the hell out of me. She's one of my favorite actors working today. She's so versatile. She was singing in La La Land, a perfect Gwen Stacy in the Spider-Man movies. She's fabulous, and she looks like she's having a great time in this. She's got this overly expressive face and a whip-smart kind of sensibility. She's very snappy and sassy and a perfect foil for both Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg.
Let's kick some dicks.
Just because it rhymes doesn't make it a great catchphrase.
It's her problem.
I just thought she was remarkable and just a lot of fun on screen. Every time I saw her, I was like, wow, this movie just jumped up a couple of notches in energy and fun. Just a lot of fun.
I think those cigars were left over from the Clinton administration.
There's also a lot of terrific actors that we meet along the way during this road picture. One of them is Rosario Dawson, who I love too. I think she's terrific in everything that I see her in. She plays brilliantly off of Woody Harrelson's character.
Need a ride?
Oh, yeah.
Luke Wilson pops up, and he was a welcome surprise. We don't see that man enough.
You don't send a boy to do a man's job.
It's funny because it feels like Ruben Fleischer said, I want to spend the money on the performers, not necessarily on locations and huge set pieces and big action pieces. We have a couple of those in here, but it seems contained. And in that containment, he lets his actors just go nuts. And you see them having these big epic fight sequences, not only with the zombies, but with each other. It's done well, it's crafted well. Actors busting and stunt people, busting through windows and over cars and doing donuts and destroying zombie after zombie. We see the requisite number of zombies introduced, and of course this is a sequel, so we get to see a new kind of zombie introduced, which they dubbed the T-800 in reference to Terminator, who was just completely relentless.
Those are T-800s, or at the very least T-700s.
There actually was no T-700. Yeah, T-800's the first model.
It's just great having two of you.
And it's supposed to kind of amp up the drama a little bit, but you can't really take anything too seriously in here. This is kind of over the top and silly, and you could argue that it's a bit throwaway, and the movie is very self-aware that this is an overcrowded genre, and in fact, in one sequence, Jesse Eisenberg's in bed reading a Walking Dead comic book. It pokes fun at itself, and it's totally self-deprecating and aware of the silliness of the zombie genre, and it has fun with it, These actors look like they're having a great time, and because it isn't this super over crazy expensive film where they travel all of the US, and it doesn't feel like the weight of the production was on these actors.
You'll be the first to die, but I like your enthusiasm.
You might die.
Yeah, thank you for your sacrifice.
I think the first movie was kind of like the zombie version of Ghostbusters, and I think that's carried through with Zombieland Double Tap. It's certainly not at that stature, especially of the original Ghostbusters. I wouldn't even say that Zombieland 1 sort of plays in the same ballpark as the original Ghostbusters, but they're fun movies. And I had a good time. I had a smile on my face. I had a couple of laugh out loud moments. Definitely was chuckling all the way through. I really enjoyed this movie. It's a little bit violent, I will say that. Even though it's charming and funny and it's a comedy, there's a lot of blood and a lot of gore, so don't take your little kids to this. But yeah, I had a good time with Zombieland Double Tap. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10.